right? There's another thing called kilowatt hour, right? And you must know kilowatt hour is not a unit of what? Power, right? Okay, I'll tell why. Before we move to the kilowatt hour, you must know that, right? Power, if I write this thing, power is measured from watts, right? We represent it by W, simple W, right? Then you already know what energy is measured uh, from the unit of joules, right? Joules, right? Capital J, we use capital J to represent joules, right? So when we say kilowatt hour, you can see here, right? I can write kilowatt hour, 1 kWh. I can write 1 kWh, 1 kWh like this, right? 1 kWh. The meaning of this one, right? 1 kilowatts per, for 1 hour. Sorry, not per. 1 kilowatt uh, for 1 hour. So it means it has supplied or consumed, right? It has supplied or consumed 1 kilowatt power for 1 hour, right? So the meaning of this one, I can write it like this way, right? Right? Means it has supplied or consumed 1 kilowatt power for 1 hour. Then we can find the energy supplied or consumed, because here you can see it is not a unit of power, but it is a unit of energy, because it says that supplied or consumed 1 kilowatt power for 1 hour. In that case, you can write here 1 kWh can be written as 1 for kilo. I'm going to use 10 to the power 3 watts, right? Times 1 hour, right? 1 hour. Then I can write 1 times 10 to the power 3 watts. For hour, I can write 60 times 60 seconds, which is 3,600 seconds. So when you simplify this one, you get nothing but 3.6 times 10 to the power 6 joules. And this is an important thing you must know. What a kilowatt hour is not a unit of power, but a unit of energy, right? Kilowatt hour is not a unit of power, but it is a unit of energy, right? So here you will get questions that you have to convert uh, kilowatt hour into joules, or sometimes you get questions that you have to convert joules into kilowatt hour, right? Either way, you should know that what 1 kWh can be written as what 1 times 10 to the power 3, as I told you, watts for 1 hour, which is 1 hour. So you can get, if you simplify this one, I'm not going to simplify it again, kilowatt hour, it is given by 3.6 times 10 to the power 6 joules. So if I divide, right, both sides by 3.6 times joules, right, then I will get here, this is a one way that you can convert kilowatt hour into joules. You just need to multiply it by 3.6 times 10 to the power 6. I'll show you how and how we can do it. Now suppose in a question that they have given you to convert 3.7 kilowatt hour into joules, then it is very simple. You just get 3.7 times, here it is 3.6 times 10 to the power 6. That is one way. Or you can just keep 10 to the power 3 is kilowatt, right? Watts times 3600 seconds, right? Then you get, when you simplify this one, let me simplify it, 3.7 times 10 to the power 3 uh, times 3600, then I'll get this number. Let me write it, 1.3 times 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 10 to the power 7 joules. Or sometimes you get questions that you have to convert joules into kilowatt hours. As an example, let's say 5.4 times 10 to the power 8 joules. Now you want to convert this one into kilowatt hours, right? So in that case, you can do it like this way, right? You get the 5.4, 10 to the power 8 joules, right? 10 to the power 8 joules, 10 to the power 8 joules. And you know, for 1 kilowatt hour, it is 3.6 times 10 to the power 6 joules. Or if you do not want to memorize it, you can write 1 kilowatt hour, you just divide it by 1 kilowatt hour. If you want to see how much kilowatt hours in this number. So now you can simplify this one, right? 5.4 times 10 to the power 8 joules, right? Over, or you don't need to write joules if you do not like to write units. Right here, 1 times kilo is 10 to the power 3 watts, right? Times hour is 3600 seconds. Then you can get the value. Let me simplify and put it over there, right? It is 5.4 times 10 to the power 8 over 1 times 10 to the power 3 times 3600. So when you simplify this one, you get it is 150 kilowatt hours, right? So you should be able to simplify or convert kilowatt hours into joules and joules into kilowatt hours. You should be familiar with that simplification, right? It is very simple. If you know the meaning of kilowatt hour, it is given by this thing, right? It is the energy supplied or consumed, right? Here, supplied or consumed 1 kilowatt power for 1 hour. So you can write it like this way: 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 times 10 to the power 3 watts times 1 hour. Then you can simplify it simply. Okay.